So, the music news had been absolutely buzzing lately about the former Pink Floyd musician. Roger Waters has decided to re-record all of one of the world's biggest celebrated and prolific concept albums of all time, as big as Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band, The Dark Side of the Moon. Celebrate its 50th anniversary in a few weeks' time, so less than a month before that birthday of one of the greatest records of all time in music history. And this is all that Roger has decided to come up with. Now, before you guys are going to dive into other topics on what's been said lately from the mouth of Roger Waters, I'm not going to go there. I am not going to go into other topics. Besides, the negativity on him has been brutal lately, and yet alone I haven't been following what Waters has been doing, even as a solo artist, because as a Pink Floyd fan, I personally still listen to Pink Floyd and to revisit the art on a lot of Floyd's music. So there will not be any comments about this or that on his own other topics on his ranting side. All right? Rolling Stone magazine has posted an article about this very thing. And Roger Waters did say that he has been re-recording the 1973 album, The Dark Side of the Moon, because not enough people recognized what it's about, what it was I was saying then. What does that mean? The thing is, who does not know The Dark Side of the Moon? We all know that the lyrical content on the album itself is really personal, reflective, and as incredibly deep. Lyrical contents on mental health, the music industry, and as well as the worldwide thing about the human condition. Everybody knows and has heard on what The Dark Side of the Moon's concept album has been about. Even for nearly 5 decades, people can still talk about The Dark Side of the Moon. And as I've been looking into this further, claimed he's been working on the new version for months, and that he's been doing it from scratch without the help or knowledge of Pink Floyd members David Gilmour and Nick Mason. But then he just decided to target the rest of the former band members of Pink Floyd, said, according to a line that he said from an article on Ultimate Classic Rock, they can't write songs. They have nothing to say. They are not artists. All right. You're hitting your own bricks in your own wall here. I don't care about his own arrogance and egoism. I just want to say this. He's been mad for years, but don't give me that do-goody-good bullshit, Waters. Yes, you can say it's your project, and you can just do whatever you want, but having these comments of saying things like that and say, forget all this we crap. The Dark Side of the Moon did not need to have its own legacy and influence tarnished by whatever Waters decided to do. And, you can call me out all you want on this, but this is my personal opinion. Some fans want to give him a chance, as he decided to re-record Comfortably Numb, which was, to me, quite unnecessary. But, it's his career, and if you are open-minded, if you want to accept Waters' decision, that is great. We can all have our own opinions here. But yet alone, recording the whole entirety of this album from start to finish, I wouldn't be surprised at all if this new release of The Dark Side of the Moon is either going to be panned by many of the fans or to be in a mixed, dividing reception. Worked on tracks like Us and Them for a bass solo and decided to add in a poem over the instrumentals, like on instrumentation of On the Run. And yet alone changing the sound of Money into this country-tinged style. Everyone knows about the overall themes and the whole spectrum of Dark Side of the Moon. We can share our views on what we think of Roger Waters as a musician. I think, in my opinion, yes, he was a great vocalist in Pink Floyd. Hearing some of the most iconic voices of all time, hearing his own personal, emotional, heartfelt performances on albums like The Wall to Angry on Animals, and still going into his own artistic expression on his solo material. But as a matter of fact, Pink Floyd's Roger Waters was a stunning writer, a stunning lyricist. And I still give him a lot of praise for his vocals when I listen to Pink Floyd. I don't know about this, guys, but this, to me, is a waste. You may think otherwise, but if you really want to address something like this, share your own voice, share your own opinion about this. Let me know in the comments. Do you think this is a good idea? Do you think this is going to be a cash cow when it will be eventually released? Because like I said, it wouldn't surprise me if a lot of people will just pan this whole thing. And with that in mind, that's all I wanted to say. What a really unexpected but appalling idea. I need a cup of tea after this. Musicians can have their own space. They can have their own creative freedom. They can have their own choice. But it's just the way he decided to make this a newer form of reality and in music history. I can't blame this, that this is entirely questionable. Thank you guys for watching, and I will keep you guys posted for more videos in the near future.